What we know so far. The Coast Guard said yesterday that the debris had been discovered on the ocean floor near where the Titanic wreck after the frantic international search in the Atlantic Ocean. The investigation will now turn into determining what caused the implosion as questions remain about the fate of the submarine and the search that captivated people around the world. So what do we know so far? The first we learned on Monday that the submarine went missing on Sunday. Now the Coast Guard is saying that on Thursday that if they found where they have been searching around, they found debris. Later saying that had consisted with the catastrophic implosion of the vessel. The 5 people on board the Titan submarine most likely died in what officials called a catastrophic implosion.
We found 5 different major pieces of debris that told us that it was the remains of the Titan.
The debris is consistent with a catastrophic implosion of the vessel. It is a difficult day for all of us, and it's especially difficult for the families, and our thoughts are with the families.
The deep sea water pressure that appeared to have crushed the 22-foot craft would have been roughly equivalent in weight to 10,000 tons, about an Eiffel Tower. With the vast surge of efforts now over, the focus is turning over many unanswered questions that remain about the Titan and the safety concerns. A Titan passenger shared accounts of safety issues on the submarine. Josh Gates, host of the Discovery Channel's Expedition Unknown.
Yeah, I went up to Ocean Gate's headquarters in Washington. I spent several days up there with Stockton and with other Ocean Gate employees and engineers, and I took a ride in Titan. This was in 2021, just a few months before Titan was going to take its first group of passengers down to Titanic. Look, there are elements to Titan that were very impressive when you first walk up to the sub. It's a very large vehicle for this kind of a mission. Most of the subs that go down to Titanic are 2 or 3 person, very, very cramped submersibles. Titan has a very novel design, so an impressive vehicle when you first see it, and a very, very unique design. But fundamentally, it is so large because it is made in a very novel way. It's made of this carbon fiber as opposed to having a pressure hull built out of steel alloy or titanium, and that carbon fiber is really, I think, the big question mark here, and it certainly was for me. There's just very little data about how that material is going to behave and the kind of pressure cycles that it was going to be put through and the kind of temperatures it was going to be exposed to. And there was simply nothing to benchmark it against. And so the more time I spent in Titan and talked with Stockton, I just couldn't get comfortable with the fact that there was almost no way to assess the risk of the vehicle. It was impossible.
So a Las Vegas businessman, Jay Bloom, and his son, Sean, 20, who were supposed to be on the tragic Titan, say that they backed out last minute and think that the Daewoo family replaced their seats. He also stated that Ocean Gate CEO Stockton Rush had contacted him a year ago telling him about the opportunity to visit the Titanic. Bloom said he wanted to go with his son, but then ended up backing out. Rush assured him that the journey would be the safest thing, safer than flying a helicopter, safer than crossing the street, Bloom recalls. And now the sister of Dawood has told NBC News that her nephew, Solman, informed a relative that he wasn't up for it, that he felt terrified about the trip and exploring the wreckage of the Titanic. But the 19-year-old ended up going on board because the trip fell over Father's Day weekend, and he was eager to please his dad, who was passionate about the Titanic.
He had a sense that this was not okay, and he was not very comfortable about doing it.
She was devastated on Thursday when Ocean Gate, the company behind the Titan expedition, confirmed that all 5 passengers on board were presumed dead. For the last 4 days, she was glued to the TV watching the news and learning about the hunt and the coverage for the Titan, desperate for updates about her brother and her nephew, and even fearing the worst.